Isn't it nice? It's super nice. I love that color green. Okay. Film for her. Signed. It's a signed copy too. Wow. Look at that. She's so cute. Look at her. I want to take photos like that now. It says to Atticus and Lolita. Atticus and Lolita in little film strips. Okay, it says, here's the page. So here's the page. And it says, Dearest reader, when poetry is written beneath the folds of every word, images unravel. That never made much sense to me until I began discovering stories in my own photographs. Existing between comfort and desire, you don't realize how valuable a moment is until the years have passed and time slips in between your fingers. There's a special kind of pleasure that comes with appreciating the mundane. The highs and lows begin to feel useless compared to all the in-betweens. Funny how nostalgia shows up in different forms the older you get. Sweet. Film for her is a reflection of all the instances in my life where I found beauty restaurant regular who couldn't keep his eyes off of her. It wasn't long before they considered this to be fate, or so they thought. The weeping willow that my parents planted together back in 1996 has been cut down since my last visit home. When I turned 16, my parents mutually decided to get a divorce, and out of spite, Mom requested that the tree that once stood proud met its end too. I get my pettiness from her. My parents bought the house back when they found out Mom was pregnant with me. A fresh, new start, as the young co-parenting couple considered it. And soon after that came the weeping willow. They wanted this budding seed to symbolize my own growth. It was the first real thing they were going to share together. I think that's the most romantic thing you can do with someone you love. My parents took the unconventional approach when it came to raising me. As two immigrants raising a first-generation American daughter, you'd presume that they would have been a lot more strict in making sure that I didn't turn out to be a mess up. But instead, it was always the opposite. I'm not sure when in my childhood I earned the trust of my parents, but from an early age, they never seemed to lack confidence in me. They always believed in the moral compass I carry, and strangely enough, they always knew I was bound to be an artist. It just took time for me to recognize that in myself too. My parents never really expected me to take the traditional route. It was always drilled into my head as a child to perfect my talents and follow whatever it is that ignites my light, no matter how unrealistic it may seem. That kind of freedom at a young age is terrifying, but there was no one more fit for that suffering than me. To think anyone could make it out of that town after graduation seemed impossible. It had rarely been done, and if it was usually through a full ride to the University of Georgia, or lazily moving to the town next door just so they could feel like they have escaped. But I didn't want to be traditional. I didn't want the small town winter life no longer. The thought of that bored me to a degree of disgust. That's where you find me today, writing my second book, living out a life I've made for myself in my home in Los Angeles, California. A girl who used to be so ashamed of her southern roots, now reminiscing on them 5 years later. It's funny. These realizations you experience the older you get. Things that used to seem so mundane, strangely enough, begin to feel more sacred to you. Everything you thought you hated actually just came from a place of deep-rooted love. You may not feel it now, but you will one day. 2,000 miles away from home, I write this homage, signed with warmth, hugs, and a great deal of growing pains. 2,221 to be exact. It's cute. So, here's the film of her family. Here's a song she wrote. sang sweet, sweet songs, sparked a memory. I loved you through the winter, but even evergreens turn yellow sometimes. Said you needed the space to give you room to grow. You went and cut your hair and lost your glow. Said you're changing your mind, so I packed all my bags and moved out of state. It cut me like a knife when you looked okay. You didn't say bye. They say distance makes it easy, but you planted your seed. I've got roses in my lungs, makes it harder to breathe. When I heard you started playing with matches, there's consequences. You can mark my words and don't forget to pick up your ashes. When you burn, you're burning down. When you burn, you're burning down. The air's much cleaner where I'm living now. I get my water from the river and my roots run down. I saw you dancing with the devil and got carried away. I heard you're moving in together and you're planning to stay. I heard you started playing with matches. There's consequences. You can mark my words and don't forget to pick up your ashes. When you burn, you're burning down. When you burn, you're burning down. You're burning down. I'm trying to look for this one that I found. I really loved it. Hold on. I think you would like it. Here we go. Deja vu. So, here's the photo. There you go. Poems lost under words I cannot seem to find. A delicate prose swallowing me whole. Gravity taking hold of the barrels in my knees every time you reach for my hand. It's deja vu. I've met someone like you within the folds of my imagination. Poised and crafted meticulously for someone like me. I've sewn my eyes shut and relived visions of you through many passing moons, yet somewhere between the many stories swimming in your seam foam,